In this lesson, we're going to plot and graph in a coordinate plane. All right, so we can represent relationships in several different ways. We could have the rule, the output is 2 times the input plus run. We could have an equation, which would be y is equal to 2x plus 1. We could have our points that are put into a table by substituting in these values. So I'd have 1, and then if I'd continue, I'd have 3, 5, and 7. And then these values can also be written as ordered pairs. And then the last example that we have here is that they can then also be plotted on a coordinate grid. And so all of these are representing the same relationship, but just in different ways. Example 1, how do I plot points on a coordinate grid? So we need to label the following, starting with the quadrants. So there are 4 quadrants to the coordinate grid, and the first quadrant starts where you've got the positive, positive, so you've got an x that's positive and a y that's positive. The quadrants are also written in Roman numerals, and they go counterclockwise, meaning the opposite direction that a clock would go. So here's my second quadrant, my third quadrant, and then my fourth quadrant. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to label the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis is the horizontal axis, and the y-axis is the one that runs vertically. And then we've got the origin, which is the middle. It's the 0, 0. All right, the next one is the ordered pair. So right here, this is the ordered pair. And then in this ordered pair, the first is our x coordinate. And then the second one is always the y coordinate. They're always written with the x first and then the y. And then in a table, we have what's called a domain, which is our x values. And then we have the range, which is our y values. All right, so give the coordinates of the point and then name the quadrant. First of all, I want to remind you that when you plot points, that you walk to the elevator, then go up and down. Meaning we do our x's and then our y's. So we walk to, and then we go up and down. All right, because sometimes we get this confused, and then that way it kind of helps us. So we can't go up and down until we have gotten and walked to that elevator. All right, so now let's go ahead and we're going to name the points, and then we're going to also name the quadrants. So let's label this as our first quadrant, our second quadrant, our third quadrant, and our fourth quadrant. All right, so letter A, we're walking to the 2 and then going down 3. So that coordinate is 2, -3. And this is then in the fourth quadrant. And then letter B, we're walking to the -3 and then going up 2. So that point is -3, 2, and then that is in the second quadrant. Letter C is at -3, -4. So we're going -3, -4, and then that ends up being in the third quadrant. And then the last one, we have letter D, which is at 3, 3. And that is in the first quadrant. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to plot the points. And so let's, because it wants us to name the quadrants, so let's label our quadrants again. All right, letter A is 1, 3. So we're going to walk to the 1, and then we're going to go down 3. So that's letter A, and then that is in the fourth quadrant. Letter B, we have -2, so we're going to walk to the -2 and then go down 2. So we're going to label that B, and then this is in the third quadrant. Letter C is at -3, 0, so we're going to walk to the -3, but then we're not going to go up any, so it's up 0. And this we're going to say is on the x-axis. So if it's on one of the axes or in the origin, you need to label that, or that you need to identify that instead of a quadrant. And then we have 3, 4, and that, let's label that D. I guess we forgot to do this right here. All right, and then this is in the first quadrant. All right, example 2, how do I check solutions to equations? So tell whether the ordered pair is a solution of the equation. So what we're going to do is we need to then identify the x and then the y coordinates, and we're going to plug them in where we see the x and where we see the y in our problem. So I have 2 times, all right, 3 is y, plus our x, which is -2, is equal to 4. All right, so we're going to have 6 plus -2, is that equal to 4? Well, yes, 4 is equal to 4, so this is going to be a solution. It has to work. All right, so for number 2, we have x is equal to 9. Now notice how we've got 2 points. We have our x and then our y. Well, our x is, if we plug it in, is 9 equal to 9? It is, so then this is going to be a solution to this equation. And then for our last one, we're going to plug them in again. So I have -7 times -3 minus 4 times -5. All right, the order of operations, we have to multiply these first. So I have 21, and then I have plus 20. Is that equal to 1? So 20 plus 20 is 41, is not equal to 1. So this is not a solution to this equation. All right, example number 3, it says, how do I graph a function? So we're going to make ourselves an XY table, and we can pick any domain we would like and to generate the range. So I'm going to pick just 0, 1, 2. All right, so when I plug in a 0, 2 times 0 is 0, minus 2 is -2. All right, so we have 2y minus 6x is equal to 10. So when I pick my domain in for this one, because I know it's going to go off the graph if I don't, I'm going to pick a -1, 0, and a 1. I think it just might be easier that way. Now we can then, for x, we can plug in the -1, and then I get 2y plus 6 is equal to 10. I could subtract my 6 and then divide by 2. Another easier way to do this is to rearrange the problem by solving for y. Because if I did that, I have 2y is equal to 10 plus 6x, and then I divide my 2, and I have y is equal to 5 plus 3x. So now when I go to plug these in, so I go plug in here a -1. I have 3 times -1, which is -3. 5 minus 3 is 2. I plug in a 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. I plug in a 1, and I have 5 plus 3 is 8. It just makes it a little bit easier for you to graph it that way, or to come up with your y values that way. All right, in question number 3 and question number 4, these are special kinds of equations because they only have one variable. In number 3, x is equal to 4, and in number 4, y is equal to -3. And so we're going to make an xy table. And if every case x is equal to 4, I'm just going to come and I'm going to pick, I'm just going to do 3 of them. Every case, x is going to be equal to 4. It cannot be any other number than 4. But then I've got my y values, so I'm just going to pick 3 y values. And it doesn't matter which numbers you pick for this. I just make it easy and do 0, 1, and 2. So I'm going to go 4, 0. I'm going 4, 1, and 4, 2. And notice in this case that x is equal to 4, it makes a vertical line. Where in number 4, I've got my xy table. And in every case, y is going to be equal to negative 3. So I'm just going to come here and place, because in every case, the only number that y can be is negative 3. And then I'm going to come here and I'm just going to put in a 0, 1, and 2. So I have 0, negative 3. I've got 1, negative 3, and I've got 2, negative 3. And notice how this then, a y is equal to negative 3, it makes a horizontal line. Example number 4, how do I graph from a word problem? So it says, after visiting relatives who live 200 miles away, your family drives home at an average speed of 50 miles per hour. Your distance d in miles from home is given by d is equal to 200 minus 50t, where t is the time in hours. Graph the function and identify the domain and range. What is your distance after traveling 1.5 miles? All right, so I'm going to just write this down here. D is equal to 200 minus 50t. And remember, it says that t represents the time, and that's in hours. And then the d here is the total distance. And then our 50 is the speed. All right, so if we make an XY table, or in this case, our t, it would be representing our input, and then our d would be representing our output. So if after 0, let's do 1 and 2. So after 0, was it 0 time? In hours. So 0 hours, you'd have d is equal to 200 minus 50 times 0. So you'd be going 200. And then I'd have d is equal to 200 minus 50 times 1, which would then be 150. And then when we plug in a 2, we're just going to have 100. All right, now let's label our, so this is our distance. Let's just put these by 50s. We're going to make it easy. 50, this is going to be 100, 150, and then 200. And then let's make our, so this is the distance. And then this is the amount of time. And then in hours, which is, let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. All right, so we have 0, 200. We have 1, 150. We have 2, 100. And so our graph is going to look like this. So it's going to come straight on down like this. Now it's asking us then what's your distance after 1.5 hours? Well, you could go and then show what's in between 100 and 150, and so it would be 125 miles. Or you could just go and plug right in here. You could have plugged in your 1.5 right here, and once you'd simplify that, you would get the same at 125 miles. So in this lesson, we took a look at how to graph linear equations by using a table.